Labas, Gabriele.
Labas, Lina.
Smagu tave matyti parodoj. Tavo nuostabią instaliaciją vadinasi Insomnija. Instaliacija, kurią pamačiau praeitą vasarą, ar ne? Buvo Aritmija festivalis merkiniai. Ir kai jau ten buvau sekmadienį, paprašiau Irmantą, kad atidarytų tą salę ir įleistų, turėjo raktą, žodžiu, ir įėjom, ir pirmiausiai, kas palietė, tai kvapas. Dar net neėjus į tą salę, ėjom koridorių, jau užuodžiau kvapą. Jau iškart pavergė mane. Tai papasakok truputį apie tą savo instaliaciją.
Tai visa pradinė idėja kilo iš neramumo, kai naktį negali užmigti ir lenda kažkokios neramios mintys į galvą ir grįžta kažkokie prisiminimai iš vaikystės, tai yra avių skaičiavimas. Ir tas skaičiavimas, jisai iš pradžių gal kaip mantra ramina, bet vėliau jis pradeda šiek tiek netgi erzinti dėl savo nuolatinio atsikartojimo. Patys 4 vilnoniai objektai, jie kaip ir gali apgaubti, sušildyti, kaip kažkokios ramybės troškimas, bet tuo pačiu jie ir baugina.
Taip, tai tavo kūriniai, tie 4 objektai yra iš vilnos, nevalytos vilnos, dėl to dar plus ir tas kvapas labai toks stiprus. Jie kabo kaip kokonai, tokie tarsi globėjiškai kažkokie, atrodo net kartais aš kai einu į parodinę salę, norisi tarsi įlysti į juos, nes jie yra žmogaus dydžio. Toks įlysti, susišildyti, pasislėpti, ar ne? Tai va ta tavo mintis, koncepcija man labai patiko. Tavo vyras ir 2 broliai jo, žodžiu, jie Lietuvoje visoje kerpa avis. Toks įdomus faktas labai. Ir minėjai, kad ūkininkai neturi ką su ją padaryti. Bet man tas buvo įdomu, kodėl neturi ką padaryti, nes dėl to, kad per sudėtinga išvalyti, ar kodėl?
Iš pasakojimų, tai taip, yra per daug brangu tiesiog išvalyti vilną lietuvišką. Tai man kažkaip ir kilo ta idėja paprašyti tos vilnos kūrinį, nes man atrodo toks prasmingas jos panaudojimas.
Ir dar yra tenais tokie, matosi tokios violetinės dėmės, tie dažai. Gali papasakoti apie tai, nes tai neintensiškai padaryti, ar ne?
Neintensiškai. Man tiesiog kokią vyras vilną atvežė, tokią aš ir panaudojau. Tai galima pamatyti kūrinyje avių žymėjimą, kai skirsto aveles vakcinuojant. Tai yra susijęs su pačia kūrinio idėja, bet man pasirodė visai žavus akcentas. Toks kažkoks siurrealistiškas dalinai.
Taip. Aš čia matau, kad Paulius irgi sėdi. Labas, Pauliau.
Labas.
Gal prisijungsi prie mūsų? Gerai. Kadangi Paulius ir Gabrielės kūrinius aš pamačiau Aritmijos festivalyje merkinėje. Vat jie dabar yra pas mus Stasys Museum, abudu. Tai trumpai, Pauliau, apie savo tą video darbą nuostabų. Aš atsimenu, kai mes 2 valandas kalbėjom apie kiekvieną kadrą. Tu pasakai, kaip kas padaryta, nes aš tikrai netikėjau, kad tai yra real filmuota. Pradžiai galvojau, kad 3D daryti, atsimeni, kalbėjom. Ir, tikrai nustebino mane. Tai papasakok, kaip tu su to dronu ten filmavai ir kur filmavai.
Tai daugumą video nufilmavau šalia savo kaimo, ten Varėnos rajone. Filmas prasidėjo nuo to, kad vieną dieną filmavau užšąlančius ežerus ir prasidėjo didelė pūga. Ir vidury ežero pamačiau tokią vienišą valtelę ir ten buvo žvejys ar kažkoks žmogus, kuris irklavo. Ir pakilo siaubinga pūga, viskas balta, švilpė, šalta ir jis kažkur plaukė tolyn. Ir tada pasirodė, man atrodė, kad jis leidosi labiau į kažkokią dvasinę kelionę, negu su kažkokiu praktiniu tikslu. Ir tada pradėjau filmuoti daugiau ir daugiau už tos užšąlančius ežerus, kaip atsiranda keistos formos, abstrakčios ant jų, kurios atrodo kaip paveikslai. Ir berinkdamas medžiagą pradėjo libytis tas filmas. Todėl filmo pavadinimas Vienuolis, galvojant apie tą pirmąjį įkvėpimą, ir jis yra kaip nuoroda į Kaspar David Friedrich paveikslą Vienuolis prie jūros, kuris kaip pavyzdys į anų laikų, kaip anksčiau žmonės įsivaizdavo tą didingumo patirtį gamtoje. Tai dabar mano filmas, kaip mes šiais laikais galime patirti gamtą per technologijas. Filme kaip ir 3 dalis galima matyti. Tai pradžioj struktūros, kurios primena sniegą ir žiemą, bet nėra, kaip nėra natūralios, kurios pagamintos žmogaus. Tai sniegas ir ledas išmestas iš prekybos centro, iš aikštelėje stovėjimo, po to Lifosios gamykla. Ir
kas tai gamyklai ten buvo, tie kalnai?
Tai fosfogipso kalnai, kurie tokie balti ir juos toliau veža tokios mažos mašinėlės ir atrodo kaip toks netikras peizažas, kaip žaidimas. Labai dažnai filmuodamas tiesiog bandydavau išjausti, kur reikia atvažiuoti, ir dažnai atvažiuodavau ir būdavo dar visiškai tamsu. Rytas tada paleidai droną ir pradėjai ieškoti, kas vyksta iš tikrųjų aplinkui, nes daugumą aplinkos būdavo sustingę, išskrendi į dangų ir tada ieškai kažkokio judančio daikto, objekto dideliai sustingusioje aplinkoje. Ir tu gal pats jo niekad nerastum, jeigu nebūtum, net neturėtum tos kaip ir keistos naujos galios skraidyti ir matyti neregimus objektus, dalykus. Ir būdavo labai labai šalta, tai reikėdavo mašinoje su šildymu sėdėti ir vis tiek pirštai užledėdavo ir tada per kokią valandą pasėdė vis tiek ir reikėdavo tada namo grįžti šildytis, bet po to toliau galėdavo filmuoti. Tai būdavo įdomiausia paleisti droną į tokias nesvetingas aplinkas, tai visiškai tamsoj, pavyzdžiui, kai nematai, kur skrendi, ir ieškoti kažkokių šviesų, kurios leistų regėti tai, kas slepiasi tamsoje.
Bet kaip Jūs matote šitai mūsų temai, žemė ir vanduo, ir tas vėjas, ir ta žemė ir vanduo, kurios slepiasi daug tų potemių, kurios yra globalinės krizės, ar ne? Kokią tu temą reflektuoji?
Kaip išeksponuota, tai labai kontekstas, daug prisideda konteksto, kadangi kitoj salėje yra filmas su žmogum valtyje, tai gaunasi vos ne kaip close-up, to atsiskyrėlio galbūt, kuris ir esi tolyn į peizažą gilyn. Kai atsiranda vanduo, mažo vandens pavyzdžiai, Mindaugo šalia mano darbo, tai irgi dar atrodo, kad kaip ir vos ne close-up, mažas, koncentruotas žvilgsnis į detalės filmo, kaip galėtų vystytis tas kadrai, kurie nuplaukė tolyn irgi ir liko filmo dalimis, kas būtų, jeigu juos susikoncentruoti, kaip jie kinta dabar. Kaip, pavyzdžiui, kinta visos tas įdomios spalvos, kurios atsirado Lifosoje ir dabar jau.
Ir tie Mindaugo, tie indai, jie tokie, kai kur atrodo, kaip tavo tas eketės nufilmuotas, ar ne?
Taip.
Tas nuostabus atsikartojimas iš tikrųjų.
Mano gal šiaip pastebėjimas, kad didžioji dalis kūrinių, kiek stebėjau, balansuoja ant tokio keisto jaukumo ir nejaukumo ribos, kas man irgi visai patiko. Kai eini į parodą, jaučiasi kažkoks meditatyvus poveikis.
So the wind came before we started preparing. The wind came, and this is as the title of the exhibition, and the wind will take us away.
It's already working.
It's already working. So, Zoya, I'm happy that you are in this exhibition. I'm really happy to see your work. Can you talk a bit about it? What the viewer, the audience would see in this exhibition?
So the viewer will see photos, my family photos, but it's not just family photos. For me, the strong meaning is behind, because it's family photos that I have now. It's only personal archives that I have now from my childhood, because Mariupol, my native city, was destroyed together with buildings and with personal things inside these buildings. And I was in Mariupol 6 months before it was destroyed. I was born there, but I lived in Kiev when full-scale invasion was started, and I was working on my feature-length documentary about Mariupol, and I came there in August 21, and I found negatives.
Undeveloped.
Negatives. They were at the balcony. That's why there was a lot of sun and humidity, because Mariupol situated near the sea. So I found these negatives, and I decided to take them to Kiev to explore and to find something for my future film. And I found that these negatives have blind spots. So it's not possible to see all images because of these blind spots. Images were erased. And for me it was metaphor of totalitarian system and Russia that inherited this totalitarian system, because they're trying to destroy our Ukrainian identity. And for me it was big symbol of this of erasing of this identity, because it was my memories, and they were already not so visible for me. And these photos were made in Crimea when we were with our family in Crimea, and Crimea is occupied now. So Crimea is I can go there, and I can't have my memories. So I took these photos. I had residency in Vienna, and I took these photos with me to this residency, and there we made photos of these negatives. So this process was important for me too. We didn't do scans, we do new photos. So we used digital camera, really good one, and we remade photos. So I have my photos again from my childhood, my childhood memories. And I understood that I want to have more. And I started a project that is called Heritage. And I started doing photos of places that reminds me my childhood and reminds me home. So it's how this project was started, and I'm recreating my
own archives, my own personal archives. And part of this project is here in museum, and other photos that we have there, it's slides that were found in school in the Donetsk region that was destroyed by Russia. And these negatives, I was surprised that I found that there is Russian lessons of Russian language for Ukrainian-speaking children. So it's propaganda. And Lina, the curator, decided to print big photos of this propaganda, and for me is a symbol of destruction. And on top of this photo, we can see my childhood photos. So I think the meaning is really from Crimea. So I think the meaning is really strong.
My grandmother, by the way, was studying in Odessa. Weathercast, something like this. She was studying.
That's why you can pronounce Polyanitsa so good.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, yeah, I thought maybe it's wrong. And then I'm talking about this, that the Russians are pronouncing wrong. And then I thought maybe I'll also make a mistake. But then you said I pronounced good.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe you heard some stories about that you can share?
I have my own feelings about this work because we had Golodomor, this hangar that was made by Soviet authorities. And my grandfather went through this Golodomor. And it's interesting that my grandfather was taken by force from his native village in the west of Ukraine to rebuild Azovstal plant that was destroyed after the Second World War. And I found that Azovstal was built during the Golodomor, so it's the same year, 32-33 of Golodomor, and Azovstal was built in 33. And Golodomor, so like our bread was used to build this Azovstal. And it's really strong for me because Azovstal was built to produce more steel before the Second World War, because Stalin was planning to attack Europe and in collaboration with Hitler. So it's really strong connection between this Polyanitsa that was taken to be sold for building this death machine Azovstal. I'm doing my feature-length documentary now because I'm not only a photographer, I'm a visual artist and filmmaker, and I'm telling exactly the story about my grandfather that was taken and used, and he died at Azovstal plant actually by accident, but for me it's like this machine used bodies and make ashes from their bodies and produced more war, more like imperialism, everything. So it's topics that I'm really interested in. Yeah, and I feel this connection with the Polyanitsa. And my own experience with Polyanitsa was when it was beginning of the full-scale invasion. And I was in small village in Kiev region with my father, and it was period when there was no food in supermarkets, in magazines, in small shops, because it was no connection, and only thing that was in the small shops in the village was bread, Polyanitsa. And we were doing with my father these storages of this bread to have it in case that fall will end at all, so we will have at least this bread to eat. So I have really strong connection with this work and with Palynica and with bread at all.
It's a symbol. Now
Yeah.
it became as a symbol, right?
Yeah. It's at the same time it's symbol of struggling for freedom, because we are still producing bread in Ukraine. Still fields are mined, but still people are growing things to do bread. So it's still, it's like life is still going on.
Susisaistymas su vieta yra toks pavadinimas tavo instaliacijos.
Susisaistymas su vieta, tai.
Tai čia yra apie tavo labai konceptualus kūrinys. Man patiko tavo parašyta pradžia, kaip tu sutikai žmogų, kuris pasakė, kad čia skrenda lėktuvas į Indiją.
Čia nesutikau, čia buvo tas momentas, kai mes atvažiavom apžiūrėti tos vietos, tos sodybos ir tas savininkas, jis būtent per tą ir pamatė lėktuvą ir pradėjo pasakoti, kad jis ten domisi tais tvarkaraščiais ir pro jo sodybą kas skrenda. Ir sako, dabar skrenda į Indiją, jo, bet man atrodo, net mes minėjom į Bambėjų, nes dažniausiai ir skrenda į Bambėjų, kažkaip pagrindinis oro uostas yra nors ir Delis. Ir tada aš prisiminiau, kad būtent 2003 metais aš skridau ir, reiškia, turėjau kirsti šitą vietą danguje ir kažkoks pagalvojau, kad tai galbūt ir ženklas, kad šita vieta yra susieta su manim iš karto. Tai, reiškia, sunku kažkaip taip patikėti tą vietą, kad jinai tau ir tu ten gerai jausies ir kažkas įvyks, kažkoks susisaistymas.
Ir jis įvyko.
Jis vyksta, manau, jis vis vyksta, nes iš vienos pusės tai netaip ir lengva kažkaip susisaistyti su ta vieta iš karto greitai, bet jeigu kažką pajauti, tai, o iš pradžių labai sunku kažką pajausti, nežinau, bet tas įvykis buvo gal pagrindinis, buvo pradžia susisaistymo su ta vieta.
Kažkaip aš galvoju apie tą, žinai, mįslingą pelėdą, nes lygtais tu kalbėjai, kad kažkas vyksta aplink tavo sodybą, kas daro poveikį pelėdai.
Čia labai gražiai reiškia, kas daro poveikį.
Taip, tu pasakojai apie kertamus miškus ir kad...
Pjaunamus, jo, gal dabar nebekerta medkirčiai, o pjauna tiesiog mechaniškai, nerūšiuodamus.
Kad pelėdos namus...
Plonas, storas, kreivas medis, pelėdos namas, nesvarbu.
Bet tau pavyko padaryti 2 drobės, ar ne?
Ne, yra iš tikrųjų 5 jau tokie pranešimai.
Ar jie kažkaip sutampa tarpusavy žemėlapis, ar nutolsta vienas nuo kito labai, ar turi kažkokio panašumo, kad galbūt ten tas taškas kažkur kosmose susieina visą?
Vienas tai yra toksai, tokia buvo patiesta didelė drobė, tai ten toks jau kažkokį tikriausiai, manau, kad jo nerodžiau dar ir jis ateinančiam projekte turėtų būti. Ir ten tada jau matau, kad ten yra kažkokia žvaigždynų jau žemėlapis labiau, kurį reiktų dar atkoduoti ir tada žinot maždaug į kurią pusę tenai, kokią galaktiką tenai reiks keliauti. Tai. O kiti kažkokie dar labiau slaptinti pranešimai, bet to jie galėjo būti ne visai įvykę. Tai nežinau čia dar kaip pasakyti. Atkodavimas lieka.
Ir dar turim 2 fotografijas, Bio 1, Bio 2 vadinasi, kur yra nufotografuota kelių minučių skirtumų, ar ne tas pats kadras, tas pats vaizdas.
Taip.
Tai kaip tu pats sakei, kad tai yra tarsi tas prieš išvykstant į tą kažkokią kitą planetą, užsifiksuoja žmonės savo tos kadrus kaip atvirukus.
Atminti, tai nebūtinai, kad čia reikia susipakuoti, taigi neįleisi laivą tokiu. Tik tai būtiniausi tie dalykai bus galimi pasiimti. Ne, iš tikrųjų tai yra aplamai, kad jeigu tektų išvykti iš šitos vietos, taip sakant, mes vis tiek kažkur tai judame, tai tas vaizdas išlieka atminti. Gal įamžinimas to vaizdo, užfiksavimas, gal padeda labiau įsiminti dar, kaip tu vis pasikartoji, pasižiūri, pasikartoji.
Welcome here to this cube of Stasys Museum. Welcome to the exhibition. I'm so happy that you are showing your works. I think they are really making kind of like also putting more themes into this field of exhibition and concept. So while the birds are whispering now, we are talking about also nature, right? About climate change, about war, about security of territories, migration, traumas. So what is it about your work, Ivar? Can you shortly introduce?
Yes. So my work belongs to a longer work series that started a few years ago. And I was interested in proposals, like scientific proposals, what can people do when the climate warming gets too heavy. And I came across one quite crazy idea that humans could put large amounts of aerosols into the stratosphere, where it would reflect parts of sunlight back to space, and therefore the Earth's temperature would be less warm. And mostly I work with real places, and at that point, stratosphere seemed like a quite abstract place. So it's not easily reachable, but I started thinking if I could somehow explore the stratosphere. And I came to weather balloons. That is quite simple technology. So you have a big balloon that is filled with helium, and it flies very high, and it flies also into stratosphere. And I wanted to send an object there and started to experiment with this technology. And it took a few tests, so I accomplished to send something into the stratosphere. And I was thinking about how can I create another image of this place. And in the end, I came to an object that films itself. So it has mirror attached, so you are seeing the front, the back, and the object itself. And so it reflects also like parts of sunlight back to space. So, but so it's so small amount, so it doesn't count. And as I said, so it's displayed here as this object, and the video or two videos where the object flies into the stratosphere, where the balloon explodes and the object falls back to Earth. In the exhibition, it's presented as also one big photograph where the object is hanging from the tree, and the object itself, where it also could come like a question if it was there. So I gave some like image to stratosphere, but it's still so it's not a place where we live. So it's maybe a little bit less abstract, or there is some other image given to it.
So Mindaugai, your work is so as Ivar's. I suppose your work is also about climate change. So do you see kind of like similar perspectives, points together with Ivar's work?
Yeah, it was very interesting to listen for what you say and how you describe. Your position is stratosphere position. You look in the things from far away onto the Earth. Whereas in my case, I see it the things from below. So it is about the same thing or similar thing, but with changed perspective, which makes the thing, the exhibition much more complete. And I understand that both works add to the exhibition context which is in discourse right now. So briefly, my work is called Love Letters to My Fellow Human. And with this work, I try to cover two discourses maybe, global warming a little bit, but more human impact onto ecosystems. And the idea in this work is unfolding through a scientific experiment. I use in my work a scientific experiment to see the impact of nitrogen onto water puddles, let's say. So audience is invited to think of different types of water ecosystems. It could be lakes, it could be rivers, it could be oceans, it could be puddles. And while looking at the impact of nitrogen onto water puddles, audience is invited to think of agriculture, first of all, and the impact of possible fertilizers onto the lakes, rivers, puddles, which are not expected to have any impact. So usually farmers, let's say, would put a lot of fertilizers onto monocultures to make them grow better. But after the rain, the fertilizers come also to the water environments, which start changing. And this exhibition, which is also very, very interesting and important, it has a term. So during those 4 months, we will have a very clear idea how the fertilizers, in this case nitrogen, impacts local water environments, ecosystems. I use in my work chlamydomonas and some water plants, and these organisms will be changing their state during the exhibition.
Mindaugai, can you tell us a bit about this balls, how would you say, kind of like vases, right? Because as far as I know, Mark, glass artist who lives in Panevėžys since many years, he made this glass for you. And this glass, the shape is like kind of like a amoeba or so. Is there some reference to that? Or?
I was working with Mark Ekstrand, and I'm really thankful to him in our collaborative work, and we were working already together since 5 years or 6 years. But this work was born through our discussions, imagination, and understanding of the needs. So first of all, I had this kind of imagination to make the glass vessels, vases, as organic as possible, but as clear and least impact from aesthetical perspective into the artwork as possible. But of course, for me, it was also very important to have glass, because it's a very natural product. It comes from sand, and I use also quartz sand also in my glass vessels. So the materiality is also very important. But in this case, through discussions, we have come to this idea of this kind of forms. It's a very complex story. To make it short, one vase represents Baltic Sea and another one the Mediterranean Sea. But we are so far away from the real image that normal human being will not see it. It's the beginning. That's how I imagined my experiments. Because at the very beginning, the jellyfish was supposed to float in the Baltic Sea and another one in Mediterranean Sea. And I was thinking, well, if these jellyfish, they float only in the seas, so how a human being will find those letters, love letters? And I came up to the idea to make an art piece for the exhibition. And yeah, in this case, I have this kind of built the narrative about Baltic Sea and Mediterranean Sea, and hidden behind the glass vessels, basically. So this is how this work unfolds, and this is where Mark comes in.
I am happy that you are participating in this group exhibition. which is called And the Wind Will Take Us Away. Now the wind brought you here from London, even though you are from Norway. Where exactly you were born and did you live in your childhood?
So I come from a place in Norway called Kristiansund, which is a city on the coast. And I lived there until I was 21. And I've lived in many cities since. But yeah, I grew up in basically in a shipyard. My father is a shipwright, so I've grown up with this. He makes wooden boats, so the smell of hemp rope and tar is always smells like home.
So, meaning like water is very tight in your biography, or how to say, important, because the water, the sea was surrounding you all the time, right? And then you made this work titled Shipwreck. Can you tell us about it more?
So it was during COVID, and I was stuck in London without being able to travel home. And I was stuck in my room, and I was reading about this, the world's oldest intact shipwreck ever found, which is at the bottom of the sea at 2,400 meters depth. And it's a Greek merchant ship that was carrying maybe wine, and it's still there very much as it fell down. They had these ROVs, so submersible robots that could go down, and they scanned this wreck. So this piece is based on that scan. So it also contains these digital artifacts, which is how the machine is interpreting what it's seeing. So it's making a shadow into a solid, for example, things like that. I'm trying to replicate also into the work. And it became a kind of, to me, it became this kind of symbol, a very good symbol of the stopping of trade and of the closing of borders and this kind of halting moment in time. So I came here to Lithuania on Monday, and like 4 days ago, and was making it here. And then transporting it to the museum is very scary, and filling it with water is also terrifying, and it's going to change a lot over the 4 months the exhibition is on.
So tell us, what can we see in this aquarium?
So it's raw clay and water only.
And maybe a shipwreck?
And in the shape of a shipwreck.
That you know the viewers could kind of like understand what it was. Yeah. And maybe in 4 months period it will change.
Yeah.
Right, so what could happen?
Yeah, I really like working with materials that are very transient, that are very changeable, and I really love making things with very unpredictable, unstable things, even though that's a very scary thing to do. It's also what gives me the most from the work itself, because I don't know what it's going to do. So for this, it's like, yesterday it looked completely different to today, and every day will be different.
How is this feeling being in the Baltic countries nowadays, when we know that the war is happening in Ukraine?
It's a lot more tangible here. And when I went to Riga and I spoke to the people who run the residency, I was there for 2 months. And they told me a lot about the Soviet era and what it was like. And they're very, very scared, of course. And outside the Russian embassy are all of these installations. There was, particularly the one in Riga, it was a playground with like screaming children and barbed wire. Just terrifying, right in front of the Russian embassy. But they also, this is amazing, so they renamed the streets of the Russian embassy Ukrainian Freedom Streets. So when they get mail, it's to Russian Embassy, Ukrainian Freedom Street 1. I think you feel it here, and you feel it in Latvia, and you feel it in Norway, because we border Russia, and the fear of what's happening is very palpable and very present. But in the UK, in the media, it feels very far away from day-to-day reality. It's just something on the news. You don't have this proximity.
So we have sun here. Before it was windy, afterwards was rainy, and now when you came on this bench, suddenly the sun came. How can you explain that?
Do I really have to?
No, not really. How about the sun on the coast? So you are from Estonia, you walk by the beach every day or quite often?
Well, every once in a while. Not so often, but like I'm aware that the sea is near because I've always lived near the sea. I was born in Tallinn, and in summers when I was a child, about let's say from 8 years to 13, 14 years. In summers, we went to Käsmu, which is on the coastline, like from 80 kilometers from Tallinn. And it's a very beautiful place with a very beautiful nature, and this place is still in my heart. And I try to go back there at least once a year. There's like lots of these big rocks in the sea and also in the forest. And in recent years, I've started to paint these rocks and the coastline. And there's something about these big rocks that really fascinate me. It's like they've been there like for thousands and thousands of years. So they have seen everything. They have seen like all the wars, all the peacetime, like Germans, Russians, everything.
Bombed ships which drowned in the Baltic Sea. So this is your fascination and this is your subject for the creativity, right? That's where you get inspiration.
Yeah, lots of inspiration comes from nature. But not all of it, because I've been drawing for as long as I know myself. Like I was very, very little, and I was really drawing like a madman, like hundreds and hundreds of pictures. I don't know why. There's something about this having this blank sheet of paper and creating my own thing. Like I can do whatever I want on this surface. Yeah.
So what was your childhood in Estonia? It was also Soviet time?
Yeah, I was born in 1983, so I have like a little recollection about the end of the Soviet time and like the birth of becoming independent republic again. But I didn't think about it like so much when I was like 5, 6 or 7 years old, although all the political situation was very much discussed in my family.
And what do you think about nowadays, about the war, about the Russian invasion to Ukraine? What is the feeling, emotion, and what people in Estonia are talking? Do they feel fair? Are they afraid? Or how is it there?
Well, I can't really speak about other people. I can only speak about what I feel. Yeah, of course, the war. The war itself is a horrible thing, and I can't imagine like having a war again on Estonian soil. I just can't imagine this thing happening. I don't really believe it's going to happen. I'm quite confident about it because of the European Union and NATO. So I don't think it's likely, but but I don't really see. I've never had like illusion that Russia, as this big monstrous country, has changed ever. Like sometimes it's like a little bit more silent, but then the anger becomes like, or the aggression becomes more active again.
Hopefully those stones on the Baltic Sea coast won't see the Third World War, right?
Well, yeah, I'm also a little bit maybe cynical about it, because I think that eventually it will see some kind of war. But like very selfishly, I hope it's not going to be in any time near in the future. But like when we look at the history, like why would we think that that we won't see war anymore? Because it's always been there. Like maybe the peacetime is 50 years, maybe it's 100 years, maybe it's 200 years, but eventually something is going to happen.